stocks in the market is
Stock market.
The stock market.
Stock market is
Stock market.
the stock market.
Stock market.
Stock market guy.
What the is the stock market? Now, before we answer the question on what is the stock market or how do I become like super rich off the stock market, how I've heard like other people have like in the news, let's actually look back in history on how the stock market actually came to be, because that will actually lead to a baseline and the fundamental of like what is it. So let's get into it right now. Let's turn back the clocks all the way to the 1600s. So our story takes place in Amsterdam. Back then, the Dutch East India Company needed a lot of money to fund their global trading expeditions, which was far more than a single investor could provide. So they came up with a new idea. They were like, yo, let's issue some shares to the public, allowing people to invest in the company and then share in its profits as well. This was essentially the birth of the first modern stock exchange, which marked a turning point in how businesses could raise capital and how individuals could build wealth. So at first the people were like, how are we going to profit off of this? And then the Dutch East India Trading Company was like, yo, listen, sit down for a second, because all I'm saying is you don't have to do anything. You just have to give us a little bit of your money, not all of it, just a little bit. And if our company does good, we'll give you a portion of our profits in proportion to the amount of money that you put in initially, as per the contract that was given out by the company as well to the individual shareholders. And that kind of like marked the essential birth of the stock market right there. The concept then caught on because other companies were like, yo, if we can get other people to invest in our companies, or the consumers think it's going to do good, that's just good money for the company to put into their product. And they can also just give a portion of their profits to the consumers. You know, so then it spread to other parts of Europe, and then eventually to the United States, where exchanges like the New York Stock Exchange were established. So these stock exchanges provided a formal place for buyers and sellers to come together, making trading more transparent and accessible. And today, the stock market remains a crucial part of our economy. One thing about the stock market as well back in the day is all the trades used to be made on paper. So like everyone that wanted to like sell their shares had to literally go into a place like the New York Stock Exchange. They had like the little bill of paper, like whatever, you know, they had like something that looked kind of like, hold on, 2 seconds, jump cut. All right, they had shares for Nando's, right? And they were like, yo, you want to buy my shares for Nando's? I don't even know if Nando's is a public company. Actually, let me double check that. Okay, this is a horrible example because Nando's is like a private company. They're not even traded on any platforms. But anyway, so let's say you had like a share for Nando's, you know, for this example, right? You'd have to basically be like, okay, my share is worth this much. What's the company trading at today? And if it was like above, you'd be like, hey, like I bought it for this much. You can like, it's gonna continue going up. Like, do you want this? You would just pay the difference and like that kind of thing, and then you would get ownership of the sale, you know. And the person that bought it originally, they would get like the principal plus the extra profit that they made. So that was all done. It was like a hustle and bustle. Let me put in a clip of like the Indian like stock exchange that I saw like earlier.
Tell us, what are all the hand signals? What are they for?
That means we were buying at 85 and we are selling at 87 and a half. Two-way code.
What's it like though at the moment out there on the floor? It must be tough. You're getting pushed and shoved. Does it get violent at times?
Yes, many times when there are very volatile scripts, it does go beyond just pushing and prodding. It goes to deep shouting and even fights, hand fights, sometimes it takes place. But that's all part of the game. Yeah, it's all part of the game, and people do enjoy it at the end of the day.
Now we have computers though, so we don't have to like run into like the downtown of wherever you're at, or like the nearest like stock exchange that you're at to like trade your shares. You can just like log in wherever you are. You can be on a remote island if you want to, you know, and then you can still buy and sell shares. All right, so now we understand why the stock market was made in the first place, right? But now you might be wondering like, okay, that's cool and all, like it's made in the 1600s, but how the f do I use that shit today, you know? Like it's how do we use it? I'm gonna show you right now. Let me break it down to you with some examples using big companies you already know, like Apple, Google, Nvidia, and Coca-Cola. When these companies need money to grow or fund new projects, they can sell shares to the public through the stock market. By buying these shares, investors get to own a small part of the company. If Apple launches a new product that boosts its sales, or Nvidia announces a groundbreaking new chip, the value of these companies might go up, meaning the value of their shares increase too. that just sums up the intro to the stock market right there. I hope you guys are able to like understand kind of like the main concepts of it. To invest in the stock market, you actually use an account called a TFSA, which is a tax-free savings account. And actually in my next video, I'm going to be talking about the TFSA and other accounts like that offered by banks, and just make it like very like easy to understand, because other YouTubers, I feel like finance YouTubers, they use complex words for no like reason, right? For me to be like, okay, just like watch this video, for like someone that doesn't know what's going on, it's very hard and difficult to follow. So I hope you guys like the styling of this kind of video as well, where we had like the visuals, the animations, and an easy to understand kind of like tone as well, because like I want to make it where I'm not using like any like difficult and like big words for no reason, right? It's in a language that you can like understand very easily. So if you liked what you saw, make sure that you like and subscribe. Hit the, you know, the subscribe button below. I actually feel like a YouTuber doing this. Hit the subscribe button below, you know, hit that notification bell, you know, so you don't miss a single video. And I'm hoping to post a lot more. So, you know, we're gonna pump out videos like non-stop for like the rest of 2025. So that's gonna be the goal. All right, thank you so much for watching. Peace.
Never been the one to lay down under any pressure. I must confess it don't be only close up in my dresser. I keep my really by the mini fit with the suppressor. I call my niggas for the business, now let's get this bread up.